The Herman Miller Embody is a chair that I've had in S tier basically since we got the chair in. I should say the gaming version of it, not the standard version. The gaming version is a little bit different, but this is going to be like the Fern for me. I'm going to drop this one from the historic S tier that I've had on this thing down to an A+. And the reason being, again, there's another chair out there that I think is more comfortable in every single aspect as this one. And when I just think about the chair, my willingness to use it compared to other chairs, and the drawbacks that it does have, I mean, the lumbar support can be a little bit pokey. The seat isn't super flexible and can be kind of wonky with the seat depth adjustment. I can't keep this one in S tier. I got to bring this one down to an A+.
This was kind of the first chair I ever sat in that was one of these high-end office chairs. I loved it right away, and then, we bring in all these other chairs, and then you got to figure out how does it rank. For me, I'm still at an S tier here, and actually, it kind of went up because we have that Atlas headrest on there, so adding the headrest brings it even further up for me. A lot of people have talked about the shoulder roll issue up at the top. I never find this to be a big issue because I just kind of dial back the back angle, and that kind of fixes it, and then, again, adding that headrest kind of keeps a little bit of extra pressure off the top of the back for me. I love the arms, the big wide pads, and I kind of like the lack of adjustability because it makes them really solid. Going to be an S for me.
Yeah, I mean, unlike Ryan, I'm actually going the opposite way that Ryan went on this one, and I think it's more of a peer pressure thing. Everybody loves this chair, and I've been giving it an A+ for absolutely ever because of that shoulder roll. However, I'm going to go and bump mine up here. It's ridiculously comfortable. The seat's insane. The armrests are massive, again, and they accommodate what you would normally get from like depth adjustment, all the range that you need to have good support. I get great support in this chair. I'm going S tier on this one. So Ryan dropped it down. I increased it up. It actually ends up staying right at S tier.
The Herman Miller Sayl for me is going to be a lot like the Hayworth Soji in that there's not really anything about the chair that makes me absolutely hate the chair. And I do like almost every aspect about the chair. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's got a very comfortable seat. I like the armrests a lot. I think that they're very soft and they're huge adjustment ranges. And then the backrest for me is really flexible. Sometimes if you do the patented Russian twist, maybe you'll feel the top of the backrest on your shoulder blades, which isn't always the best. But the rubber-like material that they use on the backrest is super soft. It's very supportive. It does have adjustable lumbar support. I don't feel it a ton. So overall, I think that this is a great chair. Just for me, probably fits me a little bit better than the other two guys in this room, which is why I can rank it as a B, above average in all aspects, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ryan said it really well. I agree with a lot of those aspects where there's a lot of parts of the chair I really like. The flexibility, the seat is nice. The arms, even though they're a little simple, they still are nicely padded. So it kind of makes up for some of the other lack of adjustability. Again, the problem for me is I'm just a little too tall for this. So the backrest, like Ryan said, I can feel that top edge too much when I move around. And I wish I had a little more seat depth. So if they could give me a larger version of this chair, I'd probably love it. But for my size, I'm going to have to give it a C.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about this is that the backrest for me, it just is way too short. Like Robert said, and I'm quite a bit shorter than you. I can't get that underneath my shoulder blades, so that is a deal killer. It's the biggest thing for me on this chair, and I think if you're my height, 6 foot or up, it's just not going to work for you. I got to just lower it down into the C tier because it's going to limit how many people can sit in it comfortably. Otherwise, it's a Herman Miller chair. It's more affordable than others, but it definitely feels like it's not their more upper tier too when it comes to just the overall feel of the chair. It's just a little bit lighter, a little bit lesser. So overall, I think with all the scores, we end up right at C. The Aeron Remastered chair. Now, this is a huge upgrade over the Classic. You guys have probably seen plenty of the tier lists where I've ranked an F tier for the Classic because it's just unsittable for me. Everything that they've changed on this chair was an improvement, specifically in the seat for sure. Getting rid of that foam pad in the front makes it more comfortable. The tilt function on this thing is absolutely ridiculous. It is one of the best, if not the best. So if you're going to want to rock back and forth on the chair, it's great. And these arm pads, they are like top tier. There's not a more soft pad that's more durable than this one that'll actually hold up. And that's kind of what it comes down to. You're going to get comfort, and you're going to get excellent comfort for a very long time because the mesh that they use on this holds up super well. I'm going to go B+.
Yeah, the Aeron's a tough one for me just because there's things on it that I think it does better than any other chair on the market. So the recline, that harmonic tilt recline, is unbelievable. It's the most comfortable, smoothest action you're ever going to find on a recline. I absolutely love it. I really, really like the lumbar support on it as well. Really unique system, the Posture Fit SL, the best mesh that you can buy on the market. And then I do think the arms, like Greg said, are top tier. The adjustment ranges are massive, and the pads themselves are the most comfortable pads in the entire industry. The reason that I cannot push this to an A tier is because of the seat, and it still has that kind of like bucket style design. I'm going to be at a B+ on this one just because I think it does some things excellent. I just can't get it into A tier because of that seat frame.
I've always kind of been the highest one on the Aeron, and I remain that way. I'm going to be at an A. I do agree with all these things where it basically is the best in class for so many different areas, whether it's the seat, the mesh, the lumbar. It's so good in all those areas. The one problem for me is I do wish I had a little more ability to sit in different seating positions. So that's why just that hard frame can be a problem for that. If I want to kick one foot up under the other or under my leg, you just can't do that because that hard frame is going to restrict that. But if I just want to focus and really sit nice and ergonomically and focus on my work, this is probably the best chair for that. So for me, it's going to be an A. It's going to average out, what are we going to have here? A B+. If you want to see how we rank all of the most popular chairs, head over to BTODtv to see our full office chair tier list. Click the link in the description.